People nearing midlife often crash into some startling and unexpected observations. For instance, we all dreamed big dreams when we were younger, right? But as we move at that breakneck pace throughout our 20s and then our 30s and 40s and into our 50s and 60s, we eventually slam head on into the realization that some of our dreams ain't going to happen. Okay? That observation that it ain't going to happen throws some people into a midlife crisis. That's when I started running marathons and got my doctorate. Now, some don't make it that far with their aspirations having already given them up somewhere along the way. Some run into the conflict that makes them weary and they settle for less. Still others make bold decisions to trade one dream for another. Well, that's what Joseph did. You want to talk about dreams. He had some big ones, okay? He at 17 dreamed that his 10 older brothers would bow down before him. It's enough he dreamed that dream. What makes it worse is that he told his brothers about it, okay? The older brothers already had issues with him. Their father favored Joseph. Their father had even given him a valuable multicolored coat. That's the modern day equivalent of a parent of 4 teenagers giving one an iPhone and the other 3 a stack of quarters for a payphone, assuming they could find a payphone anymore. Okay? The brothers banded together and they tossed the dreamer into a ditch. And eventually they sold him into slavery. And the next thing Joseph knew, he was waking up in Egypt. Well, from there, his life was a roller coaster thrill ride. One minute he's a slave. The next he's in charge of the Egyptians' official house. The next time he's in prison. And then he's in charge of the prison. And then he found himself in front of Pharaoh, called upon to interpret the Pharaoh's dreams. Well, with God's help, he was able to warn Pharaoh that he would have 7 years of abundant crops that he should put into storehouses in anticipation of then 7 years of famine. Well, recognizing his wisdom, Pharaoh put Joseph second in command of all of Egypt. And because of God's personal involvement in his life, he was able to save his family. The same family that God was building into a great nation. Joseph was in position to bring his family to Egypt and give them the most fertile land to work with. And it was definitely fertile. In the time that they were there, they were fruitful and increased greatly. Well, Joseph could have lost his life getting caught up in the details of his life, chasing his dreams and desires. Instead, he chose a better story. He chose God's story. You can do the same. If your life's dreams have stalled, look to God. If your dream now realized is not all you thought it would be, look to God. He can give you another dream, a better dream, not according to the world's standards, but by God's criteria. And just like Joseph, then you're going to have a story to tell. Amen? Amen.